Hello, I'm Dr. Pete Anderson, and I am the swim video coach. Frequently I'm asked questions, people who are interested, well, how do I learn how to float? I mean, I know how important that is because I don't want to sink. Well, it's really very easy. You first have to understand a little bit of the physics principle of Archimedes. Archimedes' principle states that you are buoyed up by a force equal to the amount of the weight of the water that you displace. So if we were to plunge you into a big beaker of water and weigh the water that you displaced over the top of the beaker, we could weigh that, and that's how much you're being buoyed up. Now, you know, I tell you what, all the time I'm told by people that, oh, I don't float. And I look at them and I'm thinking, they don't look like they've missed too many meals. And I'm thinking, no, you float. All you have to do is make sure that you keep air in your lungs. Now, come on, I live in San Diego. We have a museum down there. It's called the Midway Aircraft Carrier. If the aircraft carrier floats in the bay, you can float, trust me. It's a myth that you say you can't float because you're big boned or you're too muscular. Okay, it's very rare that you don't have enough tissue to float. All right, so that said, let's get past that myth. You're going to float. Start in the very shallow end of a pool so that you know if you get into trouble, what do you have to do? Stand up. Just put your legs down below you. Now, I would suggest you wear a pair of goggles. Get a good pair that you put on with a silicone seal. And I go to various swim shops to get those. And you'll pay maybe 12 to 15 bucks for a good pair. So once you have your goggles on, inflate your lungs and take a deep breath. And you know what the first tip I'm going to tell you to do? Squat down in the water, get up to your shoulders, and just let your arms relax at your sides. Now, if I need to remind you, most people have had a hot dog before that they boiled in a pan of water. What happens to the hot dog? It came out of their freezer, and you're putting it in the pan of water. What does it do? It floats. It's a piece of meat. It floats. Well, your arm, think of it like a piece of meat. Relax the muscles. Let your arms just float up on their own. That means you are able to control your body parts with your mind. That's really important. So do this right now while you're standing in the shallow end. Just let your arms float up. Now, since your legs are like shock absorbers, inflate your lungs. You'll feel your chest rise up. Your whole body will kind of like take the weight up off your legs. Then exhale slowly. And you'll start to go down. You'll start to come up. You can even do it holding onto the side of the pool, but I'd rather have you do it in the shallow end. And you can do this with your kids too, to teach them how to learn how to float. Now you have the safety of the wall. Maybe there's concrete steps that you walk down to the pool. So guess what? You go on the step that's about 6 inches deep, stretch out on top of the deck of that one step, and just float. But don't float like this. Make sure that you put your head down between your arms like this so that your ears are pressed up against your upper arm like this. If you're like this or you're like this is not good because your head's still up. Your head controls your body position. All right, so this and other tips in teaching you how to float well right from the get-go, you can get from my website, swimvideocoach.com. I'm Dr. Pete. I am the Swim Video Coach, and these and other great tips I can give you all of the time for free. In addition to that, if you come to my website, I'm going to give you 2 gifts. One is an ebook, Teach Yourself to Swim, well, you could even teach yourself or your kids, how to swim at home without a pool. And the second one is, that's an article, it's Tips to Prevent Drowning, which you should have also and read. So please, come visit my site, swimvideocoach.com, download those 2 free gifts, and I'll look to see you there.